$6 billion in gold. That's what the world believed had been discovered. Investors rushed in, markets exploded, fortunes were made overnight. There was just one problem: the gold never existed. And when the truth came out, billions vanished in what became one of the biggest gold scams in history in Canada. In the early 1990s, Bre-X Minerals was a tiny Canadian mining company barely surviving in Calgary. Led by founder David Walsh, they were desperate for a miracle. Walsh was a veteran of the penny stock world looking for one final success: to escape bankruptcy and reclaim his reputation in the financial world. That success arrived from deep inside the Indonesian jungle. An announcement was made that would stun the world of international finance. Bre-X claimed it had discovered one of the richest gold deposits ever found. The site was called Busang, and the initial reports were staggering. Estimates grew from 2 million ounces to over 70 million. Unimaginable wealth was supposedly buried just beneath the jungle floor. The world caught gold fever. Investors rushed in faster than anyone had seen, terrified of missing the discovery of the century. It wasn't just major banks. Teachers, retirees, and entire pension funds bought shares, betting their future on this Canadian miracle. Bre-X stock exploded from pennies to hundreds of dollars. Overnight, the company's value crossed $6 billion. A true financial fairy tale. The executives became celebrities. The media celebrated them as geniuses. But few asked, who was actually verifying the gold? The man in charge was Michael de Guzman, the chief geologist who maintained absolute control over every sample taken from the ground. As the hype peaked, mining giants wanted in. American company Freeport-McMoRan was finally invited to independently test the site. Freeport's engineers arrived at Busang expecting a treasure trove. They began their own drilling just yards away from Bre-X's sites. Instead, they found something deeply wrong. Their tests showed almost nothing. No massive deposit, just ordinary, worthless rock. Freeport could find no gold at all in the very spot Bre-X claimed was the richest on Earth. The deception was starting to crack. Guzman was called to the site to explain. He boarded a helicopter over the jungle for a short flight to meet the Freeport team. Minutes later, Guzman allegedly jumped to his death. His body was found days later, badly decomposed and missing its hands and feet. The body was never conclusively identified by DNA. Rumors spread. Had he committed suicide or disappeared with millions? Some believe he escaped to South America, leaving a decoy behind. The only man who truly knew the truth had vanished. Investigators soon uncovered the shock. The samples were salted. Guzman had been mixing gold dust into the drilling samples for years. He used filings from gold wedding rings and later locally panned gold. This created the illusion of a massive discovery where there was only dirt. The greatest gold strike in human history was a total fabrication. A carefully orchestrated scam that fooled the world's brightest financial minds. Within days, Bre-X collapsed. $6 billion vanished. Life savings were destroyed. The Canadian miracle was a total fraud. Life savings were destroyed overnight. Families lost everything they had built, while the masterminds of the scheme had already ched out millions. There were no arrests, no recovered money, no clear answers. To this day, many of the details remain buried in the legal and literal jungle of Indonesia. It stands as one of the largest and most brazen financial frauds ever recorded. A reminder of how easily greed can blind even the most sophisticated investors. A lie worth $6 billion, buried forever beneath the Indonesian jungle. This was the Bre-X gold scam. The greatest heist that never used a gun. The legacy of Busang remains a dark chapter in mining history, a dream built on dust. And this is Mystery Isle. Subscribe for more tales of true crime and forgotten history.